And then Doomsday through a Sino? What crazed mind invents that? Evening all, welcome back to Eve of the Online. This video is aimed solely at the returning veteran pilots. Again, I'm staggered I tell you, like literally staggered. Like a fat guy at a buffet, that's me. How many people are telling me I want to come back but the game's changed too much? I get it, because I had like shock. Like genuinely like toxic shock. Have you ever had toxic shock? It's horrendous. Your body shakes with the ague. And if you know what the ague is, then good on you. But it was quite a scary return to the game because so much had changed. But do you know what? It felt nice. It was like putting on those foot gloves that I've spoken about in my videos before. Old trainers, old shoes that are just so lovely that they basically, well, they're like foot gloves. And I definitely think that the game is worth a go. Is that me sort of recommending eveonline? Probably. You should reignite your passion for games like this because they're still here. I've always had this dream with eveonline that I would retire from my work, working down the coal mine every day, and then eventually they would pension me off, and then I could just sit in my little shack, my chalet, and basically I could sit and play this game until the day I died. I genuinely want to do that. And I'm still hoping I can. But do you know what? Lately, I'm getting a bit worried about some of the things that CCP are doing that make me wonder if this game will be around. I'm just going to do stuff in the background, ignore me, and please excuse the clicky clacky stupid mechanical stupid keyboard that I seem to have. It bothers the heck out of me. Anyway, so what kind of you need to be aware of, and I think as a returning player, is you're probably not going to go straight into PvP, so we'll do a separate PvP one because that in itself could take forever. And I think we're looking mostly at PvE in this one because there's quite a few different ways to make ISK now that I have been quite surprised and learned about as well. So we'll look at that. Obviously, what I'm about to do with these sites is not the best way to do it, but you know what? It's good. It looks pretty, something to enjoy. And I think actually that the irony is that it used to be in Empire space you couldn't really make ISK. You can now. You can do ISK anywhere really. It's pretty good, I've got to admit. Anyway, so there's quite a few things that we'll look at. We'll look at the quick state kind of how PvE is, you know, where you earn ISK from. We've done market manufacturing, but a lot of people don't want to do that, and I kind of understand that because if it's not your thing, it's not your thing. But we do have a lot of options now that aren't just level 4s. I think level 4s are still there, and they still do earn good ISK. But there are, for example, let's start with 3. Abyssal Dead Space. This is by far one of the better ways to make money in the game. It sort of pulses and changes a little bit. I think as of talking at the moment, which is late Aug 2025, I would say it's not bad. You get very high rewards. It's a lot of money in as well, but you don't, and again, this is where I would stress, you don't have to go all in, brah. This isn't Tesla stock. You could actually go for the levels below, like level 6. You could go with something quite straightforward like level 3, 4. It's still okay ISK. I think when it comes to level 4 missions, obviously they're still very good. There are the epic arcs. So if I go to and click buttons, I go to the wrong one, but there are epic arcs. There you go. So you could even do things like some of these. Don't disregard them. Some of them are really horrible, but I would say some of them are definitely worth a go. They have added freelancing jobs now, so you actually can mine and stuff, which is crazy, but you can actually get paid to do certain things now. So this particular person is paying a certain amount of money resources, etc., to go and basically terrorize certain areas. So you can go and do that. It's kind of fun. So if you blow up expensive ships, there is some sort of reward and monetary remuneration to you, good sir. So it's good. I think the contracts thing is pretty interesting. So definitely worth a look at the contracting, because I think, again, it's PvP, I guess, so we'll kind of only brush over it, but this is a way to do it. You don't necessarily have to do the fighty ones as well. You could do, we could do anything really. You're pretty free to do whatever you want. And you can see there's just ones that are mining, ones that are hauling, ones that are, doing things, blah, blah, blah. There's even recruitment. Is that right? Oh no, mine minerals. There we go. So Lots to do. There is a nice interface, the opportunities. Obviously, again, if you're a returning veteran, you're going to be sort of amazed and wowed at these wonderful facilities that now are available to you. But this is definitely worth doing. So here it will just show you absolutely everything. So here we have some anomalies, for example. So you don't have to just know where you're going. You can actually just open up, what can I do today, in your opportunities tab. If I go to all, and you can then just see you have some air goals, you have then opportunities, you have then epic arcs, you can then go and do home front operations, but we'll come to that because they're another thing. So lots and lots. Look, or anomalies. I wouldn't probably go and do these, but there's a high sec one there. Remember, 0.4 and below is obviously dangerous space. And if you have a corporation, they have projects as well. You have agents, factional warfare, and so on. So all in one convenient window, do you have now everything that you could possibly need to not just ship spin. Although ironically, I still log in ship spin, so go figure. But there are also things to bear in mind in terms of events. So they do events pretty frequently now. I think we're not far off the Halloween one. So every Halloween they do some sort of event where you go and do things. These generally involve anomalies and doing stuff like that. But again, goodisk, you can collect things, and it's definitely worth a consider. So definitely, I would recommend that. Let's just go to another one. I genuinely think that they have made it so that you can earn ISK anywhere, and deep space is where you earn the big ISK. But you don't necessarily need to go to deep space to earn the big ISK. It depends what you want to do, because most people would just join an alliance and then you'll live in deep space and you'll have literally a system or two that you can mine and rat, and that's your life. Go for it. That's exactly what you should be doing. I think it really comes down to what do you want to do. I don't mind Empire Space. I think it's because I lived for so long in deep space that I just got a bit kind of like, do you know what? I'm good. I'm okay with it. So I'm just going to orbit this and let them shoot me for a bit, because I deserve it. I have been naughty. My view, again, is that there are so many things to do in the game, but yet people feel such lethargy when they log in. And as a veteran, you only have, let's call it, juice. You only have a certain amount of juice to actually do this. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're going to probably struggle to do this longer than like a particular period of time before you start to get tired again. So I would say definitely pick the things you want to do. And I said it in the last video, don't do things that will drive you to frustration. Like, don't do things that are not fun for you. So like, I like Abyssal Dead Space, for example, but I do find it a little bit not stressful, but you get to a point where once you've kind of mastered one level, you go up a level, then you start to really struggle with it. Then you master that, and then so there is a progression in it. But I would say that definitely it's not my thing that I do to relax and have fun. I would rather do something like the manufacturing, because to me that feels like you're producing things. I've always been a fan of producing sort of things, content, whatever you want to call it. I don't know, but I think I would only do the things that you do enjoy. And I think that's actually quite an important conversation, really, because a lot of the time you find that your energy level, your juice runs low. And when your juice runs low, well, you need to be very careful, because you're just going to switch the game off. And this is an absolute double entendre, I know. I think a lot of what people tend to do as well when they return to the game is compile and find their assets. So let's have a quick look at the map. I don't think I'm at any risk of dying, so let's just have a quick look at our overview. So when I returned, oh, that's interesting. Just a small point, an aside, if you will, that in Eve Frontier, the mouse wheel goes the other way. Chaos. How are we supposed to play these games where in eveonline rotating the wheel forward takes you out and rotating it back towards you goes in, whereas in Eve Frontiers it's the other way around? Anyway, complete nonsense. Ignore my drivel. So here is an example of systems I've visited. So obviously I've lived everywhere. And this is just one character. I've actually lived elsewhere on other characters as well. And I do find that you end up, let's see where I have assets. Am I available? No, not that one. My assets. So there we go. So most of the stuff that I had in Deep Space was blown up years ago. So what you're going to find as a returning veteran, let's assume that you have been living in a Deep Space pocket somewhere, as long as it wasn't wormhole space, because if it was, all your stuff's gone. But if it wasn't, if it was in Deep Space, then all of your stuff as the stations were one by one systematically destroyed by literally holy war, then likelihood is that your stuff is now held in low sec Deep Space stations. So that's nice. So you can actually go and get it, and it's not that difficult to go get it. Basically, you can put some thought and time into basically going and getting it. So, you know, it's worth considering that. And I did this. I've done this across multiple accounts. Quite a lot of stuff is still there, and you know, I've still got quite a lot of stuff hidden around the map. But you know, how much do you need it? You know, if you need ISK, then obviously that's where you do it, and what you know you basically do. Did I just find a mistake in the game? So I'm scrolling in and I'm rolling out. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Does that make sense? Let's just see if I go to the map. Scrolling in goes out, and outside of the map, scrolling out goes out. Yeah, madness, madness. Chaos reigns, chaos reigns. Boom, you're dead. Zzz. And I do think that as a returning player, you're just going to literally have to manage your juice levels. And if you don't have a lot of juice, you're going to struggle. You're going to struggle with juice. And I would say that the way to kind of try and combat it is to do things you enjoy. So if it's fighting, go fight. If it's making, go make. And you know, if it's talking to people, if you want to join a corporation, then join a corporation. It will be amusing, interesting, and fun, I am sure. I think it's definitely worth doing. But I think whatever you do, just try and enjoy it. And I think really when it comes to it, you know, don't burn out again too quickly. I think that's something that I really mistake every time. So when I rejoined Eve after a very long time, it's about a year ago actually, I started playing again. I very, very quickly burnt out because I literally had 15 accounts running Tengus in a multi-box scenario. I started to mass produce, and do you know what? It wasn't the combat or the level 4 missions that broke me. It was literally the manufacturing, because I logged in in the morning, 15 accounts, started industrial jobs, over 1,500 jobs in the morning, and over 1,500, in fact more, because I had multiple characters on each account as well. So yeah, basically I broke myself. I started to become, it became a problem. So don't do that. Try and pace yourself in this game, because it is worth it. I know people really hate on Eve, and I'm one of them, but I do still think it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. And I'm so pleased and proud that I've invested my time in this game. I don't feel it's been lost time, but I mean, some I know do. You feel very sort of bitter towards it, but don't. And I think just look at it from a point of view, it's a hobby. Enjoy it. When you're no longer enjoying it, just take a break for a bit. But keep up to date. And my final bit of advice here is going to be, try to kind of look at the resources that are available to you. There are so many good resources out there, and I'm talking things like Reddit. Obviously the forums are definitely worth looking at. But I think just keep, a good example would be follow CCP's YouTube channel and follow their dev blogs. They're trying really hard to try and do kind of better, talking and explaining to to their group, their community. And I think they're trying. And I think obviously it could be better, but I think they're certainly trying to kind of, introduce and talk through where they're going with the game with dev blogs. So dev blogs definitely are worth watching. I think they're actually quite fun to understand the direction of travel. And it really does come down to what particular executive producer do we have today. It does feel we've gone through an awful lot. Let's recap some of them. So I can't remember his name, but he was the guy that invented POS structures. He went on to, I think, World of Warcraft. I don't recall, but Really, really nice guy. I had beers with him in Iceland. We got drunk. I think we smoked a smoke together. It was good times, you know. But I do remember thinking I disagree fully with his with his view of the world. Let's say that, you know, PR structures. He was the one that said to me, quite straight faced, Titans, no alliance will be able to build more than one Titan. They're just too complicated and hard. While I had 3 cooking, and I remember smirking at that, thinking, wow, really? You think that? And it's like, no, the Titans are going to be the super weapon that everybody will want. And literally making a ship that can literally press a button and kill 200 people's fun for the night. I think I get it now. I mean, I was the person pressing the button and smirking and laughing to myself. Now, I think I'm on the other side of this, where I'm a bit like, yeah, that was kind of wrong. And I think I understand only too well now that that was pretty bad, actually, to have something like that in the game. But, you know, and then Doomsday through a Sino. What crazed mind invents chaos and craziness like that, I ask you? So anyway, so I think that was the first one. The one that got me the most was, and I'm not naming because I think that's always a bit bad maybe to name people, but I think some of the decisions around player-made gates were great. Again, very good, you know, quality of life, but it destroyed the essence of the game, which is, you know, you know it, you know, you come to a gate, you're a little bit scared, you get a little bit of butterflies in your stomach because you're not sure what's on the other side. So you jump, and then there's a tackler on the other side. You know, the heart sinks, doesn't it? It's wonderful. That is the, you know, that if you distill it all the way down, is what this game is good for. It's that feeling of loss is important. It means something. And I can only just say, like, for years that I played the game, jumping through Providence, the terror of jumping and not being entirely sure if it's clear or not. And then the relief when you get into, like, you know, Udaho and places like that. YMPWL, places like that, and there's no one on the gate. You're like, yes, I've got all my Arcanor back. I'm so happy. And that is exactly what made the game great. And when they made that sort of disappear a bit, because, you know, alliances could just jump between gates, I think that was a bit of a wrong move as well. Again, incredibly useful. You know, as the person using the gate, you're like, yes, this is brilliant. I love it. And I know they've made efforts to sort of bring that and wound that back a bit, but I still think it was a stupid move. The biggest one, and I'm obviously going to get on my soapbox right now about this, is let's allow players to have structures in Empire that if they go offline, their assets are safe. No, let's get rid of that. And let's just send an email to everyone telling them that we're getting rid of it. Oh, your email doesn't work. Or, oh, we sent it to the wrong account. Or in my case, they didn't even send the email. Then I missed this, so I was taking a break. 6 months, basically, I didn't play the game, and I lost everything. Not everything, because obviously I'm not entirely stupid. I did get all the really high-value items out, but it annoys the heck out of me, because it's things like that where you just say, why would you not just make a system that, I mean, you say you've got logs and you're tracking all of this. Why would you not just say, okay, if you lost it genuinely because you're offline, then fine, we'll just reimburse you. Why make it so it's basically, yeah, our bad? Because I had CCP even say, yep, we made a mistake, we're really sorry, and, you know, let's discuss compensation in game time. Okay, fine, they did what they could. No, they didn't actually. They could have literally given my stuff back, but I just feel it's very much like, yeah, why was that a thing? I wasn't angry at the stuff. I was more angry at the real lack of ability to just do something normal in the game. That's what kind of annoyed me. And I think, you know, when you look at so many times that these, you know, that companies F up, it's usually because of just some really frustrating, stupid failure in their policy. You know, an example would be, you know, you slip on a floor in Walmart because it's wet and there's no wet floor sign. So stupid, isn't it? But that's exactly the problem, because they should accept responsibility for that. And yes, I'm becoming Sol Goodman, lawyer extraordinaire. But with that one particularly, you know, I was okay with accepting an apology. They did apologize to me, which I thought was quite nice. But I still was very much like, why can't you just literally give me ISK then? You know, what's the policy problem here? You've shown that you messed up. Why am I suffering the problems of it? Anyway, I'm not going to go into it because I'm already incredibly bitter and twisted over it. And I do think that there's an awful lot, really, that you know, you can do in this game when it comes to the PvE side of it. And I think I've just done some very stupid examples here. You know, Abyssal Dead Space, factional warfare. I think you can actually make some money out of that. But, you know, we'll talk about that more in the PvP one. I think definitely keep an eye out for the events, because the events generally tend to be quite good. If you log in every day, you earn good, you know, rewards. You get good stuff. Most things that you get as well have some market value, I would say. Maybe less now, but certainly when I was doing them, they weren't too bad. But I do think, you know, there's an awful lot you can do here, basically, to you know, to kind of make it. And I think a lot of it always comes down to try and find a group of people to play with. So if you want someone to play with me. Come join. I live in Karama and I don't really do much, but I do run level 4s and I do the odd bit and the odd, you know, bit of this, bit of that. But if you're interested, then hit me up. But I think generally just try and find a group, or, you know, get your birdies, see who's playing still. And I think then, you know, you can kind of enjoy it. But this guy literally killing my little wrecker. I kind of want to defend him. Look at that. He's basically going after the other guy. Love it. Love it. Love it. Let's just follow him. That's kind of funny. I don't know why I'm laughing at that. That just makes me chuckle. He's wondering, why am I not killing it? It's because I'm creating content. He's walked off. That's funny. Anyway, so I think try and do things that give you a moderate enjoyment. I do think you'll not regret it. Get your assets, get them out, research the game, because so much has changed. I think definitely look at your skill plans as well, because you're going to find there's an awful lot there. And I think genuinely things like, you know, level 4 missions, they have their place. Try hauling missions instead. They're actually quite fun. I quite enjoy them. But I think generally, you know, you're going to find that there's lots of ways to make ISK, and just try and enjoy it. And maybe don't game time card it, plex it, whatever immediately. Maybe put like a few dollars and pounds and euros and shekels into it, and do something that and make it so that you can enjoy the game for, let's say, less pressure to put your game time on Amiga. But it'll just play alpha. Alpha's good as well. But there we go. Let's basically kill this guy, because Mr. Pithy Wrecker has, well, he's done a good job, but goodbye. Did I miss him? Oh my god, he survived. He survived my death ray. Good lord, not for long. Oh, that's quite sad. I feel sad now. I shouldn't have done that. But there we go. Hopefully this has been of interest to you. Usual flim-flam jibber-jabber, I know. But please feel free to join the Discord. We're going to be doing a few live streams of this. One of the things that I'm definitely interested in is, and you're going to laugh at this, but, you know, bear with me, is we're going to do a live review of the market to tell you what to go and buy live. So I won't buy it, you can buy it. I'm going to literally go through and say, okay, moon miners, there we go, boom. You know, you can make a fortune off that, buy it for this, sell it for that. I will be the person facilitating you. I will be the Gordon Gecko to your, what was the guy in that film? It was Charles, what's his name? Forget his name. But there we go. Hope you enjoyed that. See you next time. It was Charlie Sheen, wasn't it?